So the first thing we want to know from all of you, we want to go around the room and we are going to ask you a question. And you have to come up with an answer to that question. And the question is, if it was possible for me to control anything in my life, this would be what I would like to have some control over. We're going to get right to it. All of it. Can we start with you?
I would like to control my emotions.
Very good. And you?
Just one thing, huh?
Oh, it can be many things. Doesn't have to be just one. If I could control things in my life, this is what I would be controlling.
I'd like to just know why I'm doing what I'm doing.
So you'd like to have some control over your inner knowing.
Yeah.
Great. And you? Like you're totally innocent of any control urges, huh?
Oh, I think I'd definitely like to know my inner knowing, my environment,
yes.
oh wow.
Good. You have lots of desire to control lots of things.
In my life.
Good.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Terrible.
Oh, good. And you, what would you control?
I guess my peace and freedom.
You'd control it so you had more peace and more freedom? Okay. And you?
Definitely all my emotions, monetary.
So you'd control it so you had more money and less emotion.
I'll take that too.
And you?
I would like to control it so that I always knew when I was following my spirit.
Great. And you?
How I got money. I'd like to know, I'd like to be able to control how much resources come into it.
Great. And you?
I would like to have more control over a more consistent flow of joy and ecstasy in my life.
So you'd like to have control over your emotions?
Okay.
And you?
I'd like to see the value more apparent in what I'm doing.
So you'd like to have more control over inner knowing?
Yeah.
Knowing what's going on. And you?
I don't know.
He'd like to have more control over everything. Come on.
Particularly my kids.
Tell the truth.
That's the deeper truth of it.
Okay.
Yes. Everything. More control over everything. Yes. That's good. Good
Yes.
answer, Larry. Careful or your teeth are going to fall out.
You had to be there. And you?
I would like to have control over the thought or emotion that says that I have control over anything.
Ah, very good. And you?
That's my big one.
Very close to that. My need to be in control.
Very good. And you? You'd like to have control over his need to be in control.
Really, it's not just kids. I've come to realize it's in me. I've been projecting it on too.
How could that be?
I like to be able to transcend where everybody else is at so I can just be where I am.
I always love people who have freedom of expression, who think of themselves as non-controlling. Anyone who tries to control them in any way, you'll control the shit out of them so that they won't control you. I would like to have the control in my life to make sure no one else tried to control me.
Don't control me.
Yes. But I will allow you to do anything, okay? So don't control me. Well, I'll allow you to do anything but control me. I allow unconditional freedom to all the people in my life, so why are you telling me what to do? Can't you give me the same freedom I give you? Yes. Just a little humor there for you. And you?
I'd like it to slow down.
So your breaks you'd like to have?
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
Actually, no. What I was looking at, actually I'm enjoying the ride. The rage, but rage comes from other beings in my body, so I guess I'd like control over.
So you'd like to have less bugs?
Well, yeah, but it's not just the bugs. It's like, I want to talk to you now, and...
So you'd like to have channeled entities that can fit your time schedule?
Right, and the bugs tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, you got it.
That's something to control, yes.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And you?
Everything sounded great. So, bottom line, I guess it's the knowing. It's like, I like this, but that's because of this, and that's because of this, and that's because of this, and I just...
So you'd like to just know the bottom line all the time?
That's it.
Very good. And you, what would you like to be in control of?
Well, like she said, like,
Everything sounds good.
but the thing that really gets me is, again, the inner knowing what pieces I have in a given moment.
Great. And you?
Well, one of the things is sort of like what Sabina said, knowing, control of knowing the highest possibility in each situation. I thought Sarah came up.
Great. And you?
Awareness and appreciation of the wonders and flow of life. Being with what's going on.
So you'd like to control your life so you would be like that all the time? Good. And you?
Pretty much everything, I guess. But okay, I'd like to control. I'd like to control the love and abundance that comes in and out of me.
Great.
Can we go around?
Any new ones? Let's hear the new ones that popped out here.
I realized a really strong one for me is wanting to control very much that same thing, the flow of resources to me and as well in and out.
Great.
I'd like to control the amount of peace on the planet.
Right.
Any other ones pop up?
I realize I want to control everything, not just everything everyone said, but the way things affect me, and then the way I affect other things, and that's like everything.
Bottom line, yes.
I want to be home.
You want to be home. Okay.
I don't know.
So now we know what you want. What do you have control over? So that's what you would like to have control over. In your awareness, what do you actually have control over? Notice the way we phrased the original question. If you could have control over things, what would you like to have control of? If it was possible for you to have control, what would you like to have control over? Consider the possibility that nothing is real here. That it's all a dream. That it's all an illusion. And that while you're in the dream and in the illusion, everything looks real, feels real, smells real, and tastes real. but maybe it isn't. Let's just consider that possibility for a moment. And then let's throw in what we perceive as a universal principle. The universe rearranges itself to accommodate your picture of reality. So that means whatever you define or label as reality, you'll get more of. It'll manifest for you. Now let's look at where you actually have control. You would like to have control? Let's look and see where there actually is any control at all in your existence. You have some small degree of creative control through your picture of reality, right? So that to the degree you have the ability to alter your picture of reality, to that degree you will have the ability to experience a reality different than the one you're experiencing now. So if you are trying to control people or circumstances or energies in your life right now, what does that imply as reality? Yes. It also implies that those things aren't the way you want them to be. That's a statement of picture of reality, which the universe will rearrange itself to accommodate. So your desire for control over things implies that your life sucks. That you don't like your life very much. That it's not really very much the way you would like it to be. The universe will then rearrange itself to accommodate you by manifesting a life that is not very much like you would like it to be. So the desire for conscious control of circumstances and people and events in your life manifests itself because it implies a reality. It manifests itself not in you having more control. It manifests itself in you having more of those things in your life that you would like to control. And the fact that there are things in your life that you would like to control implies that your reality is not satisfactory to you. Nice place to start out. So how do you imply that your reality is satisfactory? But now that you know this information, you would say you don't want to be in control as a way of controlling things. You went, okay, I figured that out. I can beat that game. So if I try to control things, then I have less control. So I'll try to not control things as a way to have more control.
Is surrender an appropriate?
Surrender is an often misunderstood term, but it's an appropriate term. Going with the flow, don't push the river. The creative control comes at the level of being able to alter your picture of reality. That's where you have creative control. To the degree that you have access to technologies that will allow you to alter your picture of reality, to that degree you have some control. But once things are in the process of manifesting, you haven't got shit control over them. Because they are what they are, and they're doing what they're doing, and they are emerging from your picture of reality. And you, what you are doing, to a large extent, is emerging from other people's pictures of reality. So who's who in the zoo? Who's running the show? Half the time other people are acting out your pictures of reality, and the other half the time you're acting out theirs. Where do you get to be in control of all this? How much control do you get? Maybe very little. But maybe with that little, you can learn to be very precise.
Can I ask a question?
I bet you're going to.
Okay.
Let's see. 1001, 1002. Yes, question coming.
When you're doing what gives your heart joy, then it seems like you lose the need for control. Am I lost in a concept of that one? Because that's what's coming.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
The angels are singing. They're going, wow, totally cool. We be jamming, man. We're covering both coasts. That way we do LA and Miami. Totally cool. We be jamming, man.
I think I read that.
You all have little things called emotional bodies. Most of the things that you wanted to control around this room was your emotional body, correct? Or somehow related to your emotional body. Because it seems to be the thing in your life that you have the least amount of control over. And that seems to run you around the block the most. And tie you in knots the most. The reason that you have so much desire to control your emotional bodies at this stage in your life is because you have been controlling them in the past. Whenever you repress an emotional experience, what it does is it crystallizes in the body as a dark, energetic crystal with the entire experience compressed energetically, visually, and in every way. The tones, the sounds, the energy of it is right in that little dark crystal. That's a picture of reality, of a repressed emotional experience now stored in your physical body. See, your physical bodies are crystallizations of your spirit. When your spirit wishes to express itself in an emotional way, you find it traumatic or difficult and you repress the experience. What you do is you take it from a conscious level and you slow down its vibration through the act of repression until the whole experience goes below the conscious level. It's still there. It is now repressed and contained and compressed into this little tiny dark crystal where the whole experience is still there going in a cell in your body. Pretty cool, huh? And then anybody has to come along and use certain tones and certain energies, and that picture of reality can be activated. And it just goes and there it is. And all of a sudden, Dad is yelling at you again, and Dad's not even around. But it looks like, smells like, tastes like, feels like that asshole is here fucking with me again. Now that is called insanity. Because insanity is when you are not in touch with what's actually going on in current reality in the moment. In current reality, Dad is not here. And yet you are reacting exactly as if Dad is here. You're insane. From yourselves, just like projected from a movie theater, this story is running again. Now, if you don't recognize that this is a karmically repressed, energetic something in the cells of your body, and you don't do something about it, it will begin to manifest in the world of form through the people who are closest, most open, and most loving to you. Everybody will have to automatically play some sort of role in this drama for you to finally act it out and complete it. Because your spirit is not going to let you off without finishing with that experience. There's two ways you can complete experiences like that. One is karmically, which is you act them out in the world of form, and the other is with the power of grace, which is what our tonal work does. The crystal is shattered. The energy and information that is in it is released into an energetic form and then can be used for new creation. But if those suckers are going on and you don't catch them, you get to live them. And then what will you try to do when you're in it? What did you try to do the first time? Repress the experience. So what do you do now? Repress the experience. And guess what? You have a double big, juicy, dark crystal there. Is this fun? It's exciting to know that your bodies are just full of this stuff. And that probably most of the time you are living your life out of these repressed dark crystals. And it's probably very rare that you're actually living in a picture of reality that is your conscious choice. And most of you are living lives of quiet desperation, trying to cope with or strategize around these things that keep coming out of your emotional body that you don't seem to have any control over once somebody has triggered them. Because once the movie starts rolling, unless you do something to break the chain of events, to break the pattern, to do something radically different there, it will manifest and you will have to trudge through it. How many of you have been in relationships with someone and you pick somebody consciously who is radically different than anybody you've ever been in a relationship with before because you're tired of the same old shit happening with the same people over and over again? Every time you get in a relationship, it always ends up the same. Where do you think that always ends up the same comes from? Out of the repressed dark crystals in your body that you somehow have never been willing to finish with. So you're in a relationship with someone, they are open and loving to you. What are they the most likely to do? They are more likely to act out your shit than anyone else on the planet. They are the closest, most open aspect of the universe, ripe and ready to rearrange themselves to accommodate your picture of reality. So, if you have all kinds of repressed crystals in your body around having your mate in a relationship try to manipulate or control you, they may have never manipulated or tried to control anyone else, but they will you. Because they have to. It's in your repressed dark crystal energies. And when you first get in a relationship, you are operating in the context of divine love. See, when you follow your spirit without hesitation, you live in a state of grace. That means these dark crystals don't exist for you. When you don't follow your spirit without hesitation, you live in the world of karma, which means you're usually dealing with one of these dark crystals or another. You can just go, even if you're clearing them, you can go from one to another, because you've been gathering them for lifetimes. Somehow the universe figures out how to implant the old ones from your past existence into the cells of your body as you're creating it for this existence. And if you're a walk-in, you're carrying around somebody else's shit. It's not even your own, but it's there. Are we having fun yet? We're certainly at least becoming more conscious of something. See, there's a picture of reality beginning to emerge in the room. Can you feel it? It's overwhelming, it's hopeless, I'm helpless.
Yeah, really?
It's like, no fucking way I'll be able to do all that. Oh, I'll never be perfect. Yes. You can feel it, it's in the room, it's thick. Something we've been saying, something we've been doing has triggered that. The overwhelming sense of hopelessness in the room. So shall we all break our own patterns around that? You all know how to do it? They are just pictures of reality. If we didn't do something about them, they would begin to manifest. If you didn't break the chain by doing what we just did, it would begin to manifest, and it would be useless to continue to talk to you about any of this, because what felt real, smelt real, tasted real, and sounded real to you, what you were calling real, was, I will never be able to integrate and utilize this. So why bother continuing? So we break the patterns, we break the pictures of reality, we shatter them. There's still some of it going on in the room, but the heavier part of it has lifted. Who feels that it hasn't broken for them yet? They need a little extra boost. Yes. You live much of your life that way. Can you stand?
Stand? Sure.
Yes. We need some volunteers to blast him.
Hi.
Don't repress the energy if you...
Thanks.
Now you have 4 basic emotional states that you are dealing with in the context of the model that we are going to share with you. Remember always that models do not accurately describe the workings of the universe or your emotional body. Models allow you to explore certain possibilities that you probably wouldn't be able to explore if you didn't use those models. So we are going to present this model as a way of exploring certain possibilities. Let's say that when you are in a state of grace and you are following your spirit without hesitation, that your natural emotional state, primary emotional state, is enthusiasm. The root of the word is entheoism, in godlike consciousness, or in God-filled consciousness. So enthusiasm, a natural, spontaneous, yeah, life is great, yeah, I can do anything, yeah, everything will work out, is the natural state when you are following your spirit without hesitation and when you're not in your karmic shit. Okay, so that's like the natural state for beingness. An innocent, natural beingness is just that way. You tend to feel that everyone can do anything and that you can do anything. And everything in life will work out perfectly. You feel naturally in the harmonic flow of events. Then the next state is anger. You all know about anger? When you're in enthusiasm, do you not experience yourself as a co-creative force in the universe? And do you not usually have creations in process that you are working with? Well, anger, in its natural, unrepressed state, is a message from your own inner beingness that says, your creations are over here, you're over here, you're way off base, you better get back on track. So that's what anger is if it's unrepressed. Fear tells you that there's some real or imagined danger, some real possibility of the destruction of something that you're manifesting in its unrepressed state. Grief tells you that something that you once valued is no longer going to be a part of your experience. It's history, it's gone, nada, bye-bye. So grief is just a way of letting go and saying goodbye. Because in the process of creating things, you only have X amount of space, X amount of time, X amount of energy. Some things have to leave for some other things to come. It's just an ongoing, constant process. Things are leaving and things are coming. It's just a natural part of the flow of existence. Now enter the phenomena of repression. Now what happens to a being who represses anger? What does the world begin to look like then? Their dominant world view when you repress anger. It looks like everybody's controlling and manipulating everybody. The more anger you repress, the more it looks that way. When you're in enthusiasm, you don't give a shit about any of that stuff. A lot of people do it, but it doesn't matter. Because what really matters is you're full of your spirit, and you're on the move, co-creating something, and you feel wonderful. So if you've repressed a lot of anger, you will tend to look at the world because you will have a large conglomeration of dark crystals that are full of repressed anger. And you will look out at the world and you will be absolutely certain that what is real on a day-to-day basis is people are manipulating and controlling each other constantly. And that will be your dominant perception of reality. Now, if you've repressed a lot of fear, how will the world look to you? It will look like a dangerous place where you have to protect yourself and protect the people that you love. And if you've repressed a lot of grief, how will life look to you? It will look gray, it will look shallow, it will look uninteresting. Who gives a shit anyway? We're all helpless, and we're all hopeless. There's nothing I can do anyway. What you will find generally is people who have repressed a lot of grief are usually drawn to thoughts of suicide and to drugs as a form of escape. Because life's fucked anyway. Who cares? It's a nice way to get out of it, to get numbed out, to get away from it all. People who have repressed a lot of fear support the insurance companies. Buy lots of fire alarms. They put lots of locks on their doors, or they become policemen. They're either protecting or being protected. Because the world is a dangerous place, you know. People who have repressed a lot of anger are controlling or being controlled. Are we having fun with this now? Everybody's saying, gee, wow. You want to break some more crystals? Okay. Might help if you stand up, you can get into it more. Oh, basically what you're doing is you're using sound to shatter energetic crystals. You don't even have to know what you're doing. Because you're in this field of energy, it will happen for you. We'll explain it more later. Yes. Just take the inertia out by beginning to move the hands, let the energy channel through the hands and make sound. And it will take care of itself. Thank you. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to, whenever you notice that your perception shifts to feeling like people are trying to control or manipulate each other here, or if you need to protect yourself or others from anyone here, or if it feels kind of hopeless and like you're not going to get anything out of it, that you bop your pattern or ask someone to help you with it.
I was wondering, a lot of times I'll have the awareness there, but then I don't have the, I don't feel any energy to make the tones or the sounds, but I know that would move it. And I've wondered if that is another patterning that I'm in, or if it's just not time to move it.
Yes, yes, and yes. It could be any and all of them. So like everybody else, you take your own chances and pay your own dues.
Father, what's going on if you don't feel like you have any that repressed?
Or then you're just deluding yourself.
What do I figured you
yes.
say?
If you are in a physical body, you have repressed karmic information in the cells. There is no way to be in a physical body in this world that came through an ancestral lineage that you can avoid having there.
Thank you.
Yes. You are just a master of repressing your inner beingness. To the degree where if something comes up that you don't agree with, you instantly repress it. You're very powerful at controlling your inner world. And as a result of that, to some degree, it looks to you like you have a lot of control over your outer world. But one of the ways you have a lot of control over your outer world is you just don't have a lot of people around. It's easier if there's no one else around to control your outer world.
Yes.
If you don't introduce the elements of other people who would act out your shit, that's why some beings choose the life of a hermit. There's nobody around to act out their shit for them. So they can at least have a period of time where they believe they don't have any. Then you start introducing people elements again, and then it starts coming up again. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does body work in and of itself help
Yes.
liberate us, or do you need to actually use sound and other things in addition?
There are many different technologies. See, the third dimensional technologies is you find out that your mother abused you as a child or your father did, and so 2 years later or 3 years later we're probably at the bottom of maybe some of that stuff, and maybe your life is starting to get together, but you've had to come twice a week and we've had to work with you very extensively. The fourth dimensional technologies is you do body work, maybe sustained acupressure or acupuncture or whatever, and these memories flood into your consciousness and you bring it to a higher state and you release it and you're done. The fifth dimensional technologies, you don't even have to bring it to consciousness usually. You just go pow and it breaks and it's done. And you can literally clear lifetimes worth of karma with this technology.
The sounds that we are making are actually accessing the force of grace, which allows for a fresh start in the moment with no referencing to the past.
So it's an instantaneous release.
Making the sounds helps to bring it into a third dimensional context.
The grace.
Yes. Well, see, everything that comes from another dimension needs some sort of access point into this dimension. So if there's a physical manifestation of something that's willing to be an instrument in this dimension for those energies to play through, then they can come through.
The dark crystals can also be thought of as energies that have become polarized rather than a whole circuit. And so bringing these tones and energies and colors actually through into this dimension help to reconnect that polarized circuit.
We call it polar infusion release.
Would making the sounds for someone else, as you were speaking about grief and the repression of grief and what could happen as a result of that, my son experienced the divorce of his father and myself several years ago, and I can see in him that there's a manifestation already of that graying and
the repressed grief.
Yeah. And what can I do to support him in moving through that, if there's anything that I can do?
Well, let's put it this way. Generally, the kind of stuff that you would be able to do is when something is up, if he was tuned into and open to these technologies, you could do them with him. If not, you can do it energetically on yourself. Because anybody who is in your ancestral or genetic lineage, whatever work you do with yourself instantly translates to them. What they do with it is completely up to them. But anything that you do, it's like anyone that you have ever had sex with, you are genetically connected to. The sperm, the male sperm, once it connects with the female body, causes a genetic link. And from that point in time, whatever you do in terms of improving your consciousness is made instantly available to that person. Whatever they do to improve their consciousness is instantly made available to you.
What about the reverse?
We just said both. You mean that if it doesn't...
They were doing things that did not improve.
Well, you'll carry their karma.
How can we stand up the tones more?
But you're carrying a lot of karma there? Yes.
Yeah.
When you have sex with somebody, all you're choosing is your downline.
Multi-level marketing.
It's multi-level marketing for karma release.
That's going to be like sperm mutation syndrome or something.
Yes.
Oh, please, honey. I'm going to tell about my karma.
I'm a nun.
See, it's just a way of trying to control your life when you say things like that. You didn't seem to mind when you were sharing those juices with another being. You didn't go, oh my God, I've got all your karma now. You were probably saying, I love you, or something like that. That time you didn't give a shit about karma. You were finding some way to escape.
I didn't know any better.
Ignorance of divine law is no excuse.
That's what they say in court.
Yes. Here you are. The natural state and the natural duration for emotions in the body is 3 to 5 minutes. So that means if you're having an unexpressed natural experience of anger, things are way out of line of what you're doing here, that anger will stay in your body 3 to 5 minutes. If there's a natural and appropriate kind of fear that you need to have in this situation, it will last in your body without any repression 3 to 5 minutes. A natural state of grief will last 3 to 5 minutes. If it lasts longer than that, it doesn't have anything to do with the present situation. The present situation has simply been a trigger for a dark crystal. If it lasts longer than 3 to 5 minutes, you're finishing something that was repressed either in a past life or previously in this existence.
If it was unrepressed, is it finished?
If it's unrepressed, it's finished. See, when you repress something, you slow down its vibrations until it goes beyond, underneath a conscious state, so you can no longer be conscious of it. When you use fourth dimensional technologies like the sustained acupressure and different technologies and the kind of archaic forms of what you would call psychology here, basically what they do is they either rapidly or slowly bring all of this information back up into consciousness, which raises its vibration. And then once its vibration is raised to a certain point, it enters a place of grace in the consciousness and it's finished. You may find in your existence that you may be drawn to do all three. You may at times want to go, well, when have I felt like this before? And begin to get in touch with the feelings and the thoughts of where this came from. And that's more of a psychological approach. Or you may, in the middle of some sort of body work or massage or whatever, have whole experiences flash into your consciousness and move on. But see, the interesting thing about every one of these dark crystals that are repressed in you, in every one of those situations, you were a victim. So, the major element of these dark crystal pictures of reality is that there is an enemy. There is a someone or a something, either in myself or in the world or in other people, that can keep me from having what I want. It is an element in every one of these dark crystals. And it's probably the primary reason that you repress them. Repress these experiences, is because you felt completely overwhelmed by the experience and your inability to deal with it or control it. And so you repressed it in the emotional body. Many of you in this room actually wanted to get better at repressing your emotions because you thought that would improve your existence. When in fact, it would increase the number of dark crystals you had to deal with and take your life even more out of a position where you had any control over what's going on. Because your creative control is extremely low when you're acting out your shit. Because when you're in it, it looks real, feels real, tastes real, sounds real, and as far as you're concerned, it is real. Even though everyone else around you is saying, that's not me, no, I'm not that way, I don't do that, no, you're wrong. You're going, yes you do! I can see it, I can feel it, it's real! It's real to you because it's activated. It's being projected from your consciousness. But it's not necessarily real to the people who end up playing roles for you. And sometimes they are shocked and appalled at what they have to act out for you. They're going, fuck, I love you, but this is ridiculous. Salvazar and Salada were very tuned into that. Actually, the first walk-ins in this body were very tuned into this information. So the very beginning, one of the basic agreements they made in their relationship was, if there's any shit up, we handle it right away. Because if you don't handle it, it manifests. If it manifests on a big enough level, it will destroy the relationship. When you see it happening, you finish it right then if you can. Sometimes you can't because sometimes the information needs to percolate up to the surface a little more. There's not enough of it up there to totally get it. So you sit and you percolate. You sit and stew in your shit. And what they also said is that what we will do is, generally if the other person needs help, we'll break their patterns. If our spirit will allow us to. But if they need to percolate, we'll go to break their patterns and there won't be anything there. Most people on this planet spend most of their lives acting out dark crystals. That's called a karmic existence. When we say follow your spirit without hesitation, all we're saying is live in the moment, live in a state of grace, and it won't be about acting out your karma or working out your karma. It will be about being a co-creative element in a larger divine design. The whole room looks glazed over. It's like everybody's... So that's all we'll be doing for the next 6 days. Is expanding on all of this. So that by the time you leave, you will actually feel quite masterful in being able to release yourself from karma once it's been triggered, and to move back to that state of grace and that natural state of co-creative enthusiasm, which is the way that you were intended to be. If you look at a child who has not yet been socialized, you will see the natural state for beings in their emotional bodies. They are naturally enthusiastic. They are naturally in a state of wonder and awe. They're always wondering what's next, and they're always looking for what's next. When they're angry, they're totally intensely angry for about 3 to 5 minutes. When they're sad, they're totally sad for about 3 to 5 minutes. And when they're scared, it's for about 3 to 5 minutes. And then they're back to whatever's next. That's the way children are. And that is the natural state for each and every one of you in relationship to your emotions. Salvazar and Salada have actually worked long and hard to reach the point where they can naturally and spontaneously allow their emotions to be whatever they are, whenever they are. When it comes to anger, they do the best they can not to direct it at someone else. That keeps it clean. Basically, what they try to communicate is, I'm experiencing anger instead of you make me mad. Because the truth is, you are experiencing anger. It's an energy in motion in your body. It's an emotion. It's a high activation of energy. People who are experiencing anger take action. It's a high action state. Enthusiasm is a high action state. People who have repressed a lot of fear, one of the things that will drive you crazy around people who have a lot of repressed fear is the major message that comes from them is stop. 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 It's all about stop. People who have a lot of grief generally attract people in relationship to them who have a lot of fear. Because the people who have a lot of fear are looking for somebody to protect and take care of. The people who have a lot of repressed grief feel so helpless and hopeless in life that they're looking for somebody to take care of them. People who have a lot of repressed anger are usually kind of, shall we say, violent and abusive with their energies sometimes. They generally attract people who have a lot of fear. Because the anger types validate for the fear types that the world's a dangerous place. So just looking at that, you can look at some of your relationships and maybe get some insights as to what was dominant in terms of repression in you and them. So what is the point of all this? We are extraterrestrials here to co-create a new world. We assume that you think that you might possibly be the same thing or you wouldn't be here. We're all mutating. That means we have dense physical bodies that are mutating in the direction of becoming light bodies. Imagine a physical body with no dark crystals. You'd have a light body. So dark crystals have been a part of the mastery of limitation and have contributed to density. So it was necessary to have them, and it was necessary for it to be slow and difficult for you to release them. Previous to March 7th, 1988? But now it doesn't have to be slow, it doesn't have to take a long time, and those dark crystals don't have to run your life. The force of grace is very high around this planet. The more light you bring into your body through channeling and doing different energy things, guess what happens? Anything that is unlike the light moves, surges to the surface to be released when the light is present. So you're doing all kinds of wonderful stuff. You're coming here, all kinds of lights coming into your body and your consciousness, and all of a sudden you're in your shit up to your eyeballs. And you go, I thought I'm doing stuff to bring more light in. How come this is here? Did I fail? No, you're doing a good job. Now break those patterns and move on. You don't have to live in it and wallow around in it and feel sorry for yourself because it's up. It's just the next thing to do. Is to clear it and move on. You don't need to become a karma clearing fanatic so that you go looking for it. But if it's up, you certainly have to deal with it or it'll start to manifest. You can't just ignore it. You can't deny it. And if you repress it, if you don't do it now, you'll do it later. It's not about getting all your dark crystals out, because the more light that happens, the faster the stuff will move. Eventually it'll reach the point where it'll just be gone. You won't even have to do anything for it. But right now we are still at somewhat of a cumbersome stage in this transition where it requires that you confront and deal with these energies as they come up. Now what's even more interesting is these dark crystals. You've heard us talk about disembodied spirits, boogies. These dark crystals often have little boogies who are in charge of making sure you don't break these patterns. That's their job, is to keep you in your shit. To give you the urge to go, well, I guess I just don't have anything to break this pattern with. I guess just doesn't seem to be there. So then what you have is a dark crystal with a boog sitting on top of it, orchestrating it. But you have something even more extraordinary, which is your spirit to guide you through all of this. Why do we say follow your spirit without hesitation? Because if you aren't, you're probably following boogs without hesitation. Or you're living out your dark crystals without hesitation. If you follow your spirit without hesitation, you are living in a state of grace, a karma-less state. Even though you may be in a body full of karma, while you are following your spirit without hesitation, you are in a karma-less state. Maybe worth doing? Worth giving a shot at least.
Yes.
One more good reason to follow your spirit. Reason number 345. We're making a list. Seems like you all need huge lists of why you should do something. Why should I follow my spirit? Well, I'm in a karmaless state, a state of grace. What?
Looked at the cloak of infinity and all that stuff.
Oh yes, you get wrapped in the cloak of infinity, which that's our favorite reason. Yes.
We're getting lighter.
Yes. Yes.
Could you speak about, there are times when I feel really clear and that following my spirit is just the dance of life.
That's because you are in a state of enthusiasm.
And then there are the other times
when the dark crystals have been activated.
Yeah, and I feel confused and I feel like, I have this information and I struggle inside to know what my spirit wants at all.
See, at that point in time, we think that's absolutely the worst time to try to figure out what you need to do. Mm-hmm. We want you to remember in those states that there's only one thing to do. Actually, two. Bust that pattern, bust that boogie. There's nothing else to do. Because once the pattern's broken and the boogie's busted, you'll be back to that natural state of enthusiasm and you won't have any problem knowing what to do. So the goal is to do whatever you can to not repress, but to allow anything to come up and move out. Not to go looking for it, not to go digging for it, but if you're in the process of moving forward and it comes up, deal with it. And then in your own natural living out your life, to train yourself not to repress your emotions, but to allow that 3 to 5 minute flash Most people don't want to do that because they're afraid they will be harmful to other people if they do that. If they allow themselves to be angry, or if they allow themselves to be afraid, they're afraid that will manifest. Repressing your fear is an even greater fascination with fear than allowing it. Savasar and Salada have worked so long and arduously to allow all of their emotions now that they hardly ever experience fear, because they're not repressing it. And they've also released huge banks of repressed fear out of their bodies. Just in their normal, everyday, living their existence kind of stuff, noticing whenever it comes up and dealing with it. One of the ways they notice that it's come up is they aren't following their spirit anymore. That's a clue, folks, that your shit's up. It becomes increasingly difficult to follow your spirit when you're operating out of a dark crystal. Imagine that your major focus on life is fear. Follow your spirit without hesitation. Fuck you, it's dangerous out there. Your major emphasis is repressed anger. Follow your spirit without hesitation. Are you crazy? If I did that, they'd be manipulating and controlling me like crazy. I wouldn't have a chance. A lot of repressed grief. Follow your spirit without hesitation. Why, man? Who cares? Life's fucked anyway. In enthusiasm, you say to somebody, follow your spirit without hesitation. They go, oh yeah, I always do. Just the way I am. I call it hunches, or like gut feelings, you know, but I think it's the same stuff. People who are in that natural state of enthusiasm are consistently powerful as co-creative, interactive forces with the universe. If you are actively living out a repressed anger, fear, or grief crystal, you will find it almost impossible to follow your spirit. Because you're in a place where spirit is not relevant at that point. So the key is to master allowing your emotional expression rather than repressing or controlling it. And allowing whatever pictures of reality are there to come up and deal with them instantly with the technologies that we have made available to you. It doesn't take much to go boop, bop, bow. And it doesn't take much to sit down for a moment and send those boogies to the light. But if you don't do it, you'll live it. You'll live it out. It will manifest in the world of form, and what could have taken you 5 minutes could take you 5 months. Savasar and Salada prefer the 5 minutes. Have consistently preferred the 5 minutes. For them to be in shit for a whole day is extraordinary. Usually when it comes up, they get right to it. Sometimes they have to perk. But for 3 years they have consistently done it. They have busted thousands upon thousands of boogies and thousands upon thousands of dark crystals in the last 3 years. And they continue to do it. You know why? Because they are here to co-create a new world any way that they can allow more of the light of who they are on the other dimensions through into this dimension. They want to do it. So, imagine if you look at all these dark crystals that you have, right? Let's just get fascinated for a moment that you have all these fucking dark crystals. God. Now, after a while, if you look at it that way, when a dark crystal comes up or a boogie comes up, what do? You go, oh shit, man, this is endless. It's like, seems like it's going on forever. I don't want to do another one. I gotcha. You know that feeling? You go, God, I've been working on my shit forever. I don't want to have any more shit. Now, but if you look at it from the standpoint of I am a master here to co-create a new world, every time I break a pattern or a dark crystal, every time I bust a boogie, it allows a greater expression of my divinity into this dimension. Then whenever your shit's up or a boogie's up, you go, hot damn, more light coming! Woo! Another shot for the light. Let's go for it. And then it becomes an ecstatic part of your everyday existence. And pretty soon it's only happening because you're dealing with it right away. It's like 10 to 20% of the time. But if you don't deal with it right away, it's 80 to 90% of the time that that's going on. 80 to 90% of the time you're in your shit when you're in a karmic context. When you're in a follow your spirit, co-creative context, and you're dealing with that stuff when it comes up, 80 to 90% of the time you're in enthusiasm. And you're wondering what's next. And you're creating something. And you're excited about what's next. And you can feel like shit physically. And yet, it doesn't matter because you're in a state of enthusiasm. You're going to be totally wiped out because of something that was required of you by Spirit, and you're still going, oh, life's great. So I'd like to go around now and have you share some insights that have occurred to you as a result of our little chat here. Some things have passed through your mind. Little ahas. Little, wow, I never thought of it that way, but that sure explains this. Just to kind of have that be available for the other people in the room. Please now. Can we begin with you? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
How about you?
My deepest sense is appreciation of how much you went towards having this as my experience. And also add the gift of the sound and the movement. It feels very appealing to the part of me that hates process.
Yes. Well, see, with the toning and stuff, it doesn't require processing or catharsis. Most of the fourth dimensional stuff requires that you go through this great emotional upheaval and this great emotional catharsis.
On a gut level, that always felt really abusive to me.
Yes, because you're an extraterrestrial. From a fifth dimensional perspective, it's silly and archaic and savage. Very uncivilized, you know. How very crude. How very fifth dimensional of you to have such a perspective. And you?
Well, the thing that sort of sticks in my mind most, from what I've always been saying, when things are up, to come from a state of enthusiasm and see it as a chance of bringing in more light and more from the fifth dimension, as opposed to, when other folks up or this.
You mean, if you're in the middle of your shit and you suddenly become enthusiastic about dealing with it, that could affect the whole energetic of it?
Are we on to something here?
Yes, we are. Have you ever heard of a thing, what is the name of it? We have forgotten the name of it, but it is a thing in your physics where a larger magnetic field or a faster moving magnetic field will always dominate in any given situation. The smaller entrainment. The smaller energetic fields will always align and attune themselves to the higher vibrational field. So enthusiasm is like anger is like fear is like and grief is like whoa, whoa, whoa. So what happens if all of a sudden you become enthusiastic? You go, shit's up. karma here to deal with, boogies to bust, and you get enthusiastic about it. What happens is you bring that high vibrational enthusiastic energy into the circumstance, and it begins to raise the vibration of the whole thing, which increases the speed through which it can be released. People who are depressed about having their karma up, guess what they're going to do with it? It's going to take forever for them to get through it. Yes.
Is there a difference about people? I know people who say feign enthusiasm.
Yes. There are people who are depressed or scared or angry who basically feign enthusiasm. Yes. That's not true enthusiasm. We are talking about the state of God consciousness where you genuinely are in the flow and you feel unstoppable and you feel like there's nothing that you cannot do and you love everybody and everybody loves you. That's true enthusiasm. Yes, we're not talking about the people who jack themselves up to get over how terrible their life is.
I was just wondering if that would have an effect too.
No, because it will actually depend on where their true emotional state is as to what they will actually be living. Is that useful to you? If you begin to consciously bring enthusiasm as much as you can to everything that you're doing, you're going to upgrade energetically your experience. So, even if you are in the deepest level of your shit, if you can be enthusiastic about how much light will come through when you get this thing finished,
it implies a whole different reality. It implies that what is real for you is the light. What is real for you is the grace. And that this shit is just shit.
What if when you're in your shit, what if when your karma's going on, all of a sudden you relate to it as if it's karmic patterning?
Not reality.
Instead of as if it's reality. Just by recognizing it as a pattern or a dark crystal, just by acknowledging it as that, calling it that, you cease to call it reality. That automatically breaks the chain of manifestation. It will only manifest if you relate to it on all levels as if it's reality. As soon as you acknowledge it, it will break the chain of manifestation. What you manifested up to that point will still be there to be dealt with. Now are you beginning to see where you have creative control? You have control by calling these dark crystals or patterns. That's useful. You have control by channeling energies from other dimensions, which will break the energies very quickly. Fifth dimensional energy is extremely accelerated. So literally what these tones do is cause you to energetically relive the whole experience in a millisecond. You feel it in your body, but it happens so fast that there was no need to become conscious of it. Some of your deeper core level things you will need to become conscious of layer after layer after layer. But that's no big deal either. It's just part of the work. You're moving in the direction of becoming a light body. If the next thing you're supposed to do is to break a pattern, release dark crystals, or bust a boogie, how wonderful. It's just as good as anything else you could do. It's just one more thing to do. It's no big deal. The energy is shifting rather nicely. You're all starting to get a sense of hope back. You're starting to say, well, shit, I could do this. All it requires of you is that you pay attention and explore this model.
What have you got to lose?
You've got a lot to gain by exploring this model and playing around with the idea that when it's up, your next step in the co-creation of heaven on earth is to break these crystals or bust the boogies. And that's the single most important thing you can do in that moment to support the co-creation of heaven on earth. Because when you break those crystals or bust those boogies, there's all of a sudden, within the context of your space, access to more light which can come into this dimension and be made available to this planet.
Every time you release one of these patterns or these entities, you make more room for the pictures of reality that do not include an enemy. And so the more that this happens, the less reason or motivation that the universe will have to rearrange itself to have you experience a reality that includes an enemy.
And if it were to happen on a massive enough scale, it would be the end to war. Because you have millions of people on the planet, billions of people, with repressed karma that says there is an enemy, the universe must rearrange itself to accommodate it. Somewhere.
Can you consciously replace this dark crystal too with... Or just
but see, that's up to your spirit. Just let your spirit decide what to put in there.
Because I know they hate avoids and they're...
Yes, but your spirit's got that one handled.
Yeah.
You do that consciously with the superconscious technique.
And the last spirit.
Yes. I have a feeling that there's almost an air of excitement beginning to build in the room now. Because we can get on top of this thing.
Look at Mary.
She's totally enthusiastic.
She's jumping for joy. We're just having fun. So enthusiasm. What?
Enthusiasm is not jumping up and down with pom-poms in your hand.
Thank you.
Enthusiasm is a state where you are in touch with the feeling that you are in touch with the rhythm of the universe and of your life. You're in touch with the flow. You're flowing. You are unstoppable. You love everybody. Everybody loves you. That's the natural state of enthusiasm. And it can express itself in different people in many different ways. It doesn't require any jumping up and down and pom-poms. You don't have to be a cheerleader to be enthusiastic. Some people can be very understated with their enthusiasm, and yet that is their natural state. Will express differently through different entities and different divine designs.
I have a question. When your ship comes up, how do you know the difference, or is there a difference between some dark force thing happening and your karma ship?
There's the same.
Oh, that's what.
There's no way the dark.
It seemed to me like it was, and I thought, well.
The dark forces cannot manipulate you except through a place where you can accept that there is an enemy. The only place that you generally accept that there is an enemy is in these dark crystals in your body.
Mm-hmm.
If, when they are activated, the dark forces can manipulate you through them. When you're in your shit, you can be manipulated by the dark forces.
Mm-hmm.
When you're not, you can't be. When you're in that natural state of yes. So if you wherever you break a pattern, you're making yourself less available to the dark forces and more available to the forces of light.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yes.
Any more insights?
I've been going through a shift as far as bugs are concerned, in that it seems to be when I encounter one, it's not so. Cause I've always treated them as like the enemy. It was like, and I realized that I was in the same positioning of the light and the darkness fighting, trying to fight that, and when
which would attract bugs to you like a magnet.
Right. It was like I get all this fierceness and blast them out or command them or it was coming from that positioning. I realized it was totally 4D that when I was in my tunnel. And now what's coming to me more is that like
the book that's in my journal, my body will be going into fear, and I'll realize that's a fear book. That's all that he is. That's all that he is fear.
It's his fear, not yours.
But it triggers the places in me of where he obviously triggers how he's connected to me, and I can see how limited that being is. That is all. That's his way of expression. So it's no different whether they have a body or they don't have a body. It's still it's part of the transition of bringing the light in, is sending them into the light so they can evolve into all that they are. It's the same process that I'm going through, and the only way that I could maintain the repression, the limitation to keep myself asleep as long as I was supposed to was to have those books holding it down. It's like it's coming to me more, and my big insight was that I've been stuck brewing in energy for a week, and felt like I didn't have any energy to clear it. And what I just saw was I have this incredibly creative book, and it's just running all the right stuff and he's been triggering all kinds of stuff.
Knows exactly how to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Just sending in more creative ones lately.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
See, all your stuff gets subtler and the boogies get better as you go along.
There are times when it is appropriate to come from a place of fierceness, but not from a positioning of, this is the enemy and so I must overcome. Fierceness, from our perspective, is an intense concentration of the light of your spirit.
Well, as soon as I recognized it was a book, just a few 5-10 minutes ago, I felt this incredible heat come to my body. It was like, this is not me. This is not me. I'm not supposed to be brewing this shit. It's not me. And it's just like, that was my fierceness.
See, one of the reasons that we recommend that people identify themselves as extraterrestrials and begin to use their extraterrestrial name, if that is in fact something that's true for them on the other dimensions, is because what it sets up is a dynamic where you are not as likely to identify with anything that is of the third or fourth dimension. So you're not likely to identify with the book and think it's you, or you're not as likely to identify with your karmic shit and think it's real. Because your true reality is you're an extraterrestrial on a spaceship. And this name resonates with the energy of your true identity. So if you are an extraterrestrial on a spaceship, none of this shit's real down here.
Yeah, seeping into this body.
Yeah. One of the main reasons that we were attracted to connect with you through our vision, and also you, is because we see only that ecstatic future self that you are, and in seeing that we help to assist in evoking it into the present moment. So it was to connect you again with you, rather than this identification that you've had around you that all your shit and all these boogies were you.
Well, I got to the point where I'm aware that it is not me, but the book is so good with whatever triggering all the different places in my body that it's like I didn't have the energy to move it. And that's what drove me crazy was I do have the awareness that it is not me, that it is pattern, that it is dark crystals, and there was no energy coming in. And when I realized it was a book, it was like, wow, this guy's really sharp.
Yes.
It is entirely appropriate to call someone up
and ask for help.
Those times and ask for help.
You have a whole room full of people and you can call up.
Yeah.
You can do that stuff over the phone.
Anytime.
There's many times we've had people call up, we put the phone down, we go bop, 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 and they go, wow, I feel really different.
Anytime.
Yeah, the old radical self-reliance mode.
Well, who do you think wants to stay in the radical self-reliance mode? The boogies.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah. I don't need anybody else. I got me and all my bugs. I don't need nobody. I can do it all myself. Me and all my bugs. Fuck you. The white horse you rode in on.
More insight.
What's happening for me here is really wonderful because a lot of pieces have been forming and coming along in the last few months that we're connecting with here. And what I'm getting is just a deeper sense of clarity about what I have been doing and the relationship of the patterning between the fear, anger, and grief. And what I just did before coming here about a week ago was complete a relationship that I had with a partner in some business. And what I just got as an expanded part of that is that she was the one holding the anger predominant and I was the fear. And we kept feeding each other. And I just completed that whole thing about 3 or 4 days ago and did it from that position where I recognized to come back into my own center and acknowledge her for assisting me to do that, because I just saw where it was totally not me, where the anger that was coming at me was completely her old pattern, because it had nothing to do with anything I'd really done.
Yes.
It was just getting that piece. It's just everything for me right now is just like getting more crystalline.
When somebody is in their shit, you no longer exist. Mm-hmm. You symbolize or represent something in their dark crystal picture of reality, but you as you have no existence for them.
Right.
But see, another thing that's real useful, often many of you are out there trying to decide who you want to spend time with. And how are you trained in this society to relate to people? You go to their level. So if you want to be in a relationship with someone, or they want to be in a relationship with you, if you're going to be a good relationship person, then you're supposed to go to their level and relate to them on their level, right? Bullshit. Fuck that. You want to relate to me? You come relate to me in enthusiasm. I'm not going to go hang out and repress anger, fear, or grief just to have a relationship with you. We are masters of that. You can come in totally in your shit. What are we? Enthusiastic about it, aren't we? We're going, wow, it is so great you're in this shit. I just know it's going to be wonderful for you. We cannot come to your level. If you are going to relate to us, you must either come to ours, which is enthusiasm, or go find somebody who will play on the level you are at. But we have taken a stand in enthusiasm. We require anyone who comes in our presence to relate to us on our level. We will not go to any other level to relate to someone.
I have a question that's brewing about, it's like having a body that's really sensitive to energies and where somebody else is at. So if I'm at where I'm at and then somebody else has got their stuff going on or they're projecting or whatever, I don't like to play out their picture of reality, and yet they're there.
We look at it on a percentage basis. What we call an effective relationship, a co-creative relationship, is 80% enthusiasm and co-creation, 20% shit. Mm-hmm. If it's the other way around, we're history. We're out of there. We're gone. If it's 80% shit and 20% enthusiasm, it's horribly unbalanced in a way where it would be an enormous amount of work to try to alter it. We just end the relationship. See, that's what happens. If you don't deal with these things when they come up, it's not 20%, it's 80%. Because once it starts to manifest, if you haven't acknowledged it as a dysfunctional pattern in yourself or the other person, see, one of the ways that you can tell when somebody's in their shit, their faces lose their spontaneity. And their eyes lose their light. That means there is a glaze over them. They are no longer in a natural state. They are now projecting from a deeper level of their being a picture.
So take a moment and look around the room at each other. And see what you see.
See who still has a natural spontaneous quality to their face, and see whose faces are kind of wooden and their eyes are a little kind of flat.
Hey, Peppy.
There are little clues. People who are in enthusiasm, people who are in a natural state of enthusiasm, their eyes are bright. Their faces are animated. When you lose the animation and spontaneity in your face and the sparkle in your eye, you're in your shit. There are people who have been in repressed anger, fear, or grief all of their lives, and they don't even know what you're talking about when you talk about enthusiasm.
They don't know what it feels like to have that spontaneity. There's a whole planet full of such beings here.
In fact, if you watch the movies, many of the heroes in the movies are people who are extremely repressed. The more repressed, the better.
Yes, it was interesting. We were listening to an interview about Elvis Presley yesterday on the radio, Solara was. And something that he mentioned to the producers of his movies when he first started doing movies was that he noticed that the most popular actors were the ones who never smiled and the ones who were very stoic. Heroes, admired by the beings on this planet, repressed, the most repressed ones.
It's like that shows strength or something.
Yes.
Character.
If you're strong enough to overcome your emotions in this society, you're in control.
These are all concepts that have been developed for people who don't follow their spirits without hesitation.
See, if you're not listening to your emotions as information from your spirit, they are inconvenient when you're trying to control your reality. If your major focus is controlling your reality, your emotions are damn inconvenient.
I like that.
And if your whole gig is trying to look to other people like you can control things, which the old world actually likes people who look like they can be in control of things. You go to the quick copy and you go, well, this guy looks like he can get things done. He's stoic, he's in control of his emotions, looks like he'll do what he said he was going to do. Must be a good person. Somebody we can count on.
Having to do with anger and allowing somebody who is close to you in your space to freely express the anger that comes up for them. Is it appropriate to say, it's fine with me, it's wonderful that you had that anger, but I do not want to be around that energy, please go somewhere else?
Yes. A lot of times if people are in their shit and they're just dumping it on you, and you see it's their shit and it has nothing to do with you, you can excuse yourself, go to the bathroom, and then don't come back.
Yes.
Sit in there and read a magazine or something, you know.
So it's me that should take myself away from the situation instead of asking them to please leave.
Well, either way.
Okay, it's appropriate either way.
It doesn't matter. You know, the first thing to do is identify for them that as far as you're concerned, they're into something that doesn't have anything to do with what's real. which will generally either put them deeper in their shit, and they'll say, fuck you and the white horse you rode in on. Or they'll say, yeah, I think you're right. Can you help me? Either way, the energy's moving. Whether you intensify it for them or... See, like when somebody's stuck in shit, there's two ways out of it. You can either inspire them out through the top, or you can drive them out through the bottom. There's a hole out at the top and the bottom. So if I see people are not open to being inspired, I would hope for them that things would get terribly worse fast. Because their only way out is through the bottom. Some people are impossible to inspire. They are so determined to do it on their own, and they're so determined that what they're in is real, that their only way out is to completely live it all the way out, clear through to the absolute worst possibilities. My recommendation for them is go for it, find somebody who will go to the bottom with you, and I'll see you later. But see, we are not trying to relate to people on their level anymore. We're not trying to go to their level and connect to them as a way of manipulating them to have a relationship with us. We are co-creating a world. We need to be in our natural state of enthusiasm to be co-creative, and we need to be in our natural state of enthusiasm to easily follow our spirits. That's essential for us. It's like oxygen. If we don't have it, we're dying. So I can't go die with somebody just because they're in repressed anger, fear, or grief. If they want to live, they can come vibrate at the level I'm vibrating at, or it's okay with me if they die. I'm not in charge of who should live and who should die. I'm not in charge of who should shift now or who should shift later.
Could we break that pattern? I'm feeling that so strongly in my body, the responsibility.
Of wanting to take care of people?
Right. Of going down with them.
Yes. You go down with them because you love them, right?
Supposed to help.
Yes. Any of you have any aspirations to be healers? No. If you have any of that, you'll go down with them. Any of you have any spiritual ambition, like you want to save the world?
No.
If you have any of that, you'll go down with them.
Yeah.
Yes. Michelle wants to know if there's a right use of that desire to serve. From our perspective, the right use of that is to follow your spirit without hesitation.
To become an absolute humble servant to your own spirit.
To be an instrument through which the divinity that you are in other dimensions can flow into this one. And you have no idea why or what is going to happen as a result of it. You just say, yes.
And then find out how your spirit wishes to serve these other beings.
See, what it progressively gets to is the place where you realize you're not in charge of this anyway. All your desire for control is because most of the time you're living out dark crystals. If you're living in a natural state of enthusiasm, your desire for control is minimal. Almost nil. So here's what we would like all of you to do while you are here. It's important to become natural and spontaneous with your feelings. This is a society that encourages you to be controlling. But if you get caught at it, you're a bad person. Nobody likes to be manipulated and controlled, but you're encouraged to manipulate and control. So nobody likes to get caught at manipulating and controlling. So it's kind of a catch-22. So what we want to do is encourage you to become natural and spontaneous and allow whatever's there. here's how we would like you to do it. Generally, you will notice a desire to control because it'll show up in your body in some way, right? There'll be some sort of tension because you'll be controlling your desire to control, because you've been around New Age thought long enough to know that that's not cool. But it's still there. So here's what we would have you do. When you notice that urge to control, simply say, if I could control this situation, here's what I would have it turn out like. Essentially what you're doing is you're sharing your vision of an end result with people. Yes. If I could be in control of this situation, you would all find it very natural to release these karmic patterns and bust boogies. It would be like eating or breathing for you. You wouldn't think about it too much. You wouldn't worry about it too much. It would just be a natural part of your life when it needed to be dealt with. And the rest of the time you would be in a natural state of enthusiasm, following your spirits without hesitation. If I could control the next 6 days in such a way that it would influence the rest of your life, that's what would happen for the next 6 days. That's how you do it. Because really all that's happening when you have the urge for control, you have a vision of what's possible here. All you have to do in that situation is share your vision. And you can allow the control urge by saying, if I could control this situation, here's how I'd like to see it turn out. Now practice that here, if you will, during the next 6 days, as a way of beginning to get in touch with how much this desire to control is there in you, and to allow it to be there, and to find a loving outlet for it. Because all it is you have visions. You have insights of possibilities, and then you have a fear that it won't be explored, or it won't be allowed, or it won't be acknowledged. So your controlling of your controlling is a denial of your little visions.
It's okay.
When you control your urge to control, you deny a vision you just had. But because you thought that it was a controlling urge, that you thought that you just wanted to move in, take control of the situation, make sure this vision happened, and you know everybody else is going to get pissed off about that because nobody likes to be controlled, then you control your vision instead of sharing it. The trick is, nobody has to do your vision, but you have to share it. Because if you don't, you repress. That repression is going to go into a dark crystal, and you're going to have more shit to clear up. The trick is to clear what we have and not create more. And in the process, return to that natural state of enthusiasm where we follow our spirits without hesitation, with ease. No problem following your spirit without hesitation when you are in that natural state of enthusiasm. Heck of a problem when you're in repressed anger, fear, or grief. It's downright difficult to follow your spirit then. Are we having fun now? You need to break some patterns?
Yes.
Okay. You want to ask for help?
Yeah.
Who would you like to have help? If you were to have, if I could be in control of this situation, try that. If I could be in control of this situation.
I'll ask.
Well, no, just say, if I could be in control of this situation, Sabina would help me.
Right.
Say it.
If I could be in control of this situation, Sabina could help me.
Now, she has to do is get in touch with her spirit, because you haven't said you are in control of the situation.
Right.
You are speaking authentically now. You are sharing your truth. You are saying from a very vulnerable and real place inside of you, if I could be in control of this situation, I would love your help. But since I know I can't be, I don't know whether you will help me or not. but I'd really like it. So instead of repressing yourself or trying to manipulate her, you just state what's there for you. And then you find out whether she actually has anything for you or not. Do you?
Yes.
Great.
It's an interesting process for me too, by the way.
Yes, because after she has set her controlling vision, you have to get in touch with what's real for your spirit.
What happened with me was my very first response was, let's see, what was it? Very first response was who? Me? And then the next one was, the next one was, I should look and see if that's really true for me to do that. And I'm getting really hot right now. And then when I really listened, I saw that there was a personal, emotional connection that I had, and so I moved past that personal, emotional connection and listened to spirit, and I saw that there was a direct communication to be had between my fifth chakra and hers.
There is also the thing that it's generally you're drawn to break people's patterns when they have similar patterns to what you have. It's also true that if one dark crystal is shattered for this person here because of what you're doing with her, because the tones are in this room and we're all here, if we all have similar crystals, they're shattered for all of us. So when you are serving one, you are serving everyone here.
Get down.
It felt like a pattern. It felt safe because it felt to me a pattern that Skin had already broken.
Great. I think the whole room can take it. Are you all ready for the next step? Yes. Stand up. Yeah. You are in a room right now where there's tons of shit being projected. Copious amounts of poo-poo. Caca. Yucky stuff. And you can feel it in your energetic fields. This is what's part of an answer to what Janice was talking about, because she's very sensitive and open to other people's projections energetically. You need to have some way to clear it out of your energetic fields, right? Okay. So, first you start by holding a vision in your consciousness of yourself in your natural enthusiastic state. Just radiant, following your spirit, ecstatic about being alive. And then you take your left hand and you rub in the center of your third eye. Circular motion. And then you take both of your hands, put them at the center of your third eye, drag them across your forehead, pulling the energy off there, and flick it off your hands.
Oh, there's goosebumps.
Yeah. What you're doing there is you're clearing other people's projections out of your third eye, which allows you to get back to your own clarity, and you're holding in there a vision of you in your own natural enthusiastic state.
Don't worry about where you're flicking it.
Okay, so the first thing you do is you clear that by rubbing on the third eye. Put your hand, both hands in the center of the forehead, dragging it across, and then flicking it off. Then you start with your hands underneath your chin, both hands up cupped under your chin. Bring them up and across the face with the fingers touching here in the center. Bring it all the way around across the top of your head, down across the back, so that your hands come at the back of your neck. Draw them across the back of the neck and flick it off. Do that one more time. From under the chin, bring it up all the way across the face. Bring the hands across the top of the head about 2 or 3 inches, 6 inches above. Bring them down to the back of the neck, drag them across, and flick them off. Does it feel different already?
Twinkle.
Okay, now bring it across the throat. Put both of your hands at the center of the throat. Draw your hands across the throat and flick it off. Same thing with the heart. Put both of your hands on the heart, at the center of the heart, drag it across, flip it off. Cross the center of your solar plexus, drag your hands across, flick it off. Both hands at the center of the second chakra, which is in the abdomen area, drag it across, flip it off. The first chakra, which is at the base of the spine, put your hands back here in the back, drag it across, flick it off. Drag your hands across your buttocks and flick it off. Then take both arms, put one hand on each shoulder, slide your hands down your arms, flick it off. Take your hands, put them at your hips, slide them all the way down to your ankles, flick it off. Slide it from the front of the hips all the way down to the ankles, flick it off.
Look at a pile of flick.
Well, if you want to do something with the pile of flick, just go. Careful not to do too much. You'll get it all over you again, and then you have to start over.
Oh, no.
So, here's a little clue. When you don't want to think about somebody, but you're still thinking about them, and you think about them over and over again, they're projecting information into your third eye. Do the third eye clearing thing where you rub the third eye, drag your hands across a couple times, do the thing around your head a couple times, and they will be gone. Because you will have cleared it.
Something else you can do is you can just pretend like you have white gloves of light on your hands, so that whenever you do this flick, it is instantaneously transformed to light.
Do you all feel better now?
Yeah.
So you may find yourself wanting to use this if you are in environments where people aren't conscious enough to deal with their own shit. You may want to go off to the bathroom or something where nobody's watching and go, whoa, whoa, clear that off there. Yeah, get this stuff off me.
Boy, I may spend a lot of time in the bathroom.
Or you get more selective.
Change your environment.
Get more selective about who you spend time with. We basically consider a transpersonal co-creative relationship one where beings are willing to take responsibility for clearing their shit. If I'm with somebody and they will not acknowledge that they're in a karmic pattern, or they will not acknowledge that they have a boogie, I'm out of there. Because there's no way we can move forward together. If this person is not willing to clear their shit, that means I have to live it out for them. Sorry, that's not my life.
There are some times when your spirit asks you to just honor that they are where they are, and it is not for you to go after it or to even bring it up. But you will know when those times are.
And those will usually be times when you're clear of acting them out. You probably won't be in a position where you'll be required to act them out. But if you're in a position where you'll be required to act them out, then you have the right to say something about it. If I see somebody for 10 minutes and I see that they're in their shit, no sweat, because I won't be around them 10 minutes from now. But if I got to be for you for 10 days, and you're acting out your shit, or I have to act out your shit, then we're going to talk about it. We're going to put it in another context for sure. Are we having fun now?
Yeah.
You'll probably like this one a lot, this clearing.
That completes this tape set. The rest is up to you. Have fun.